today we have Gaurav with us. Gaurav has been a marine of sailed as a chief officer, and after sailing as a chief officer, he did a master's in Rotterdam, and now he's working as a vessel operator in Rotterdam itself. So today we will try to get deep into what kind of role as a vessel operators and how a commercial aspects overall looks. So welcome, Gaurav.
Hi Sachin,
Yes,
thanks for having me here, and yeah, it feels good that
yes,
you are onboarding on this venture of
yes,
podcast to
yes,
educate, of course,
yes,
the
yes,
younger
yes.
generations to come. Let's say that way. Yeah. So a quick intro from my side is I am Gaurav Sharma. To start with, I did my pre-C training, if you say so, cadetship for the theoretical part. I did in Tolani Maritime Institute. It was basically just to get more knowledge, also suggested by a friend's captain father, with whom I found his lifestyle very charismatic. So yeah, that's the reason
Yeah.
I joined Merchant Navy first of all, without any historical background from my family, from my cousins, or I'm the first one who is joining this profession. So
Okay.
everybody was against it actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
That what is this? We don't know about this.
Okay.
Also, if you come from northern part of India,
Yeah.
so
Correct.
you are not at all familiar with this sort of profession.
Correct.
So yeah, but then I did my college in Tolani Maritime Institute. Then I got to work with Indian companies in cadetship time,
Okay.
which was, in my opinion, if I look back on those times, it was very good because cadetship is the time when you learn about the operations on the vessel. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you get a vessel which is 33-year-old Cape size, so yeah, it was wonderful time.
Yeah. Yes.
Also, yeah, then I gave my third mates. Sailed with also an Indian company, and then I switched to multinational companies with multinational crews. Then I shifted, got promoted, second mate, and then I gave chief mates. Yeah, chief mates exam in India is also quite intense, I would say.
Yeah. Yes.
If you compare it with doing an MBA,
Yeah.
it is quite similar. The time that you require to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, these things start popping up in my mind. Yeah,
Okay.
what
Okay.
is going to be next? Yeah, then I was sailing as chief mate, mostly on bulk carriers, handy
Okay.
Pana, Cape,
Okay.
and yeah, but I didn't go for a master's course. Didn't give my master command.
Yeah.
And then I shifted here, did my master's in shipping and transport. It's in
Okay.
Rotterdam Main Port Institute,
Okay.
affiliated with the Rotterdam University of Applied
Yeah.
Sciences.
Yeah.
You get a MSc in shipping and transport.
Yeah.
And then I started working at WEC Lines. It's a
Okay.
Western European container lines.
Okay.
They are Dutch ship owners
Okay.
in the business for more than 50 years. So
That's
yeah, they have owned vessels, I would say 11 to 12. And we are also chartering always 4 to 5 vessels. Two vessels are with us for a long time charter for about 3 years, 4 years from now. We're also looking for expansion and
okay.
getting more tonnage in the fleet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been 1 year here. I'm working as a vessel operator now.
Yeah. Okay. That's really very well sum up everything brought down in one brief introduction. So having put and said all this, so we'll first get into why leave sailing when you're already at the verge of, already have a rank experience and just to give, exam of the masters in India, and you are sure shot going to get a command, but you didn't do that. And was there a specific reason you chose not to do that? And also, when did you start to feel that shipping is not for me and I should get out of sailing?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this will bring back a lot of flashes while I'm
Yeah.
speaking. But
Yeah.
yeah, the reason for not giving a command as per se, or taking a command or giving your
Yeah.
master's exam and clearing
Yeah.
a master's license was mainly because as you sail with a lot of Indian, so to say, officers, they
Yeah.
have a typical stereotype that if you pop up this chat on board a vessel that
Yeah.
I think I will move ashore, do a shore job, I
Yeah.
look for my own career by doing a shore job. So immediately the response you get you should first do your masters. So I often used to have arguments about this. Yeah, it's okay, for sure. If you have reached up till chief mate position, why not give a master's license and
Yeah.
take a command on a vessel and then shift to shore? But then when I started exploring the market, when I started speaking to a lot of alumni from the institute that I studied in Rotterdam,
Yeah.
also I explored a lot of alumni from other universities in different part of
Yeah.
the world, be it Australia, in
Yeah.
Shanghai with the WMU, in US, other parts of Europe. I found you don't need to be a master of a vessel to get a shore job. Yeah,
Okay.
because for me it was like, also I took it up as a challenge to break the stereotype of the people
Okay.
who are sailing on board, that if you are not a master, you will not land up something good
Okay.
on a shore job. Yeah, this was, I took it up as a challenge, and yeah, luckily I'm doing progressing towards
Yeah.
proving myself.
Yeah. Okay. And the thought of just transitioning ashore, was this something which you started feeling from the first day you joined a vessel, or this was something gradually changing your mindset of not seeing a career ahead at sea, or this there was some incident that happened you when you thought, yeah, this is enough, I should transition ashore.
Yeah, I would say it was a gradual, let's put it on a term, intermittent.
Okay.
It was, yeah, initially there was no, I had no clue that there is also called something that you are operating the vessels or doing
Okay.
commercial aspects in shore side. But yeah, as you learn in the operations on board the vessel, if you are keen enough to know what
Yes.
is running on the other side of the vessel,
Mm.
because yeah, the vessel is only being operated and being they are just following the orders which are given from the shore side, so
Yes.
to say. I was very eager, curious to know what is on the other side of this operations. Yeah, it was gradual. In 2017, I started looking for shore jobs, and when I was sailing as third mate, second mate. But yeah, then it got, so to say, the motivation was gone or something. Then
Okay.
I had to focus on my chief mates, which I already told you is like an MBA.
Yeah.
You are doing for
Yeah.
1.5 year in India,
Yeah.
giving your chief
Correct.
mates. So yeah, I got drifted away from this point of view. I
Okay.
also was in touch with a lot of people all around the globe who were doing some of these courses, a different type of courses related to shipping, and they have moved or stepped out ashore with some
Yeah.
good job profiles. But I got drifted away, and then I did my mates. And yeah, to validate your mate's license, you have to work as a mate, feel the pressure of the job, feel the
Yeah.
pressure of the rank, to earn your respect, to know more about the core business.
Yeah.
You are more in touch with the third party, the external stakeholders. When you're a mate, of course, at a master, you are only communicating mostly like 80% to the external stakeholders, but also you are handling a vessel,
Yeah.
operating a vessel daily. Yeah, but I would say, a floating COO is a chief officer, a floating CEO is a master, of course. But
Yeah.
as you get to the point where it's so much burden on your professional life, and then
Yeah.
you have to balance it out with your personal life. I think it was quite, in my opinion, for me, for my point of view, it was quite stressful, I would say,
Yeah. Okay.
because chief mates, you don't even have time to talk on the phone in the port, because of such heavy
Yeah.
operations and such critical operations being going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I decided what I thought in 2017. Yeah, let's try about this. If not, then of
Yeah.
course you can switch back to sailing any
Yeah.
day. You have
Mm.
a valid license, you can also go for your master's exam. So let's
Yeah.
give it a shot. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think the shot was fair enough,
Yeah.
and working towards it.
Yes. Okay. So moving on from there, then were you always like looking into getting a higher education? Was this on your plan of moving ashore, or you had thought if I get a shore job, I'll pick up the job, or you thought no, I want to move abroad, so I need to get an education. So why the need of getting an education?
I would say, if you go, for instance, if you go to Australia with the AMSA authorities, you can just, how to say, convert your license with the Australian license, and then you can
Yeah.
start working with AMSA. This is
Okay.
just for an example, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still not out of that shipping zone. You're
Yeah.
still not out of the onboard, how to say, roles and
Yeah.
responsibilities. You just
Correct.
directly convert your license and then you start working in some sector with AMSA, let's say. But what I wanted to do is with my knowledge of core shipping
Yeah.
on board a vessel, how it is run, and when you give an order to the vessel, how the vessel acts on it.
Yeah.
By the vessel, of course, I mean the vessel, the crew, the everything.
Yeah.
So I wanted to increase my more interaction with the multinational people, how they react,
Okay.
how they
Okay.
how they decide, how what is their way of working, what is the mindset of people.
Yeah.
So it was on my agenda, yeah, to go for a higher education, of course,
Okay.
just to blend in with the environment, with the people here, and
Yeah.
how things are running here on a day-to-day basis, so
Yeah.
that I get more feel of it. Because if you shift a continent
Yeah.
from Asia to Europe, in my case, yeah, it is, you can get a lot of cultural shock,
Yeah.
which a lot of people don't absorb.
Yeah.
Are even though they have been seafarers,
Yeah.
the job comes with so much of resilience the people need, but still people break down here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wanted to take a feel of this to
Okay.
start working here, because
Yeah.
for sure for me the option of coming here was that I would definitely land up in a job, because I chose Rotterdam being the biggest port of
Yeah.
Europe.
Yeah.
So for sure, you will be either in shipping or on the peripherals of a shipping company or a logistics business, something like that, with some project management job. You will surely land up with something because you have seen the core operations,
Yeah.
and for sure it helps in your so to say resume.
Okay.
That you possess a core knowledge of how a day-to-day activity of on board look like.
Okay. Okay. So moving on from that, you did a master's of science. Generally, people when they are thinking of moving ashore, they think of doing an MBA. That is the generic conception which most people have. That I'll do an MBA and I will change my career trajectory, or even to get a normal shore job, I need to do a MBA.
Yeah.
So what I want to focus with this is why did you choose an MSc program and not an MBA program? And if you could describe the difference between a MSc and MBA in a shipping domain. How will a person who does an MBA would look like, and how a person who does a specific master's in a specialized field, in particularly in shipping, would have their career trajectory?
Yeah. So for since I explored a lot of opportunities since 2017, on and off,
Yeah,
on and off,
yeah,
I thought that, yeah, if you don't even speak the language in the country which you're going, yeah,
yeah,
of course English is profoundly spoken, and it's very easy here
yeah,
as an expat. But yeah, I looked at opportunities of MBA,
yeah.
but in Rotterdam, MBA for, let's say, in the sector of shipping or supply chain, it didn't quite appeal to me. With the
Okay,
course which I did, it was MSc in shipping and transport, which says
yeah,
by the name, it had
yeah,
core, how to say, you were handling external stakeholders,
mm,
everything in your while you're doing a master's. So it
yeah,
was perfect. You had supply chain as a course, logistics as a course, strategy and management as a course, shipping companies as a course. So I wanted to explore more on this. It was my
okay,
personal choice. I wanted to explore more on this, that how a shipping is, or a shipping organization works, how the
yeah,
business works here.
yeah,
By doing an MBA, it would be a more of, let's say, generic sort
yeah,
of degree. If
yeah,
you want to pursue it, you can shift to any part of the sector of the business,
okay,
not only shipping. You can also go to some technology, some bank firm,
yeah,
anywhere you want. You can apply your MBA to it. But yeah, with the core operations part, I wanted to explore this more. And after this, you also have an option to do an executive MBA later on, or do a part time MBA,
yeah,
because you have such a good knowledge about the onboard
yeah,
and then ashore. You can combine it up, and
yeah,
it will
yeah,
be quite a good coupling effect. If
yeah,
you do an exec MBA later on,
yeah.
let's say also a part time, it would be better.
Okay,
But for now, for me, it was MSc, because I wanted to go more on the core of the operations and
yeah,
commercial side of the
okay, okay,
operations.
okay. So that's very really put up that MSc is a very specific to what field you want to specialize in, very focused on that part, and MBA would be something which would be very generic, so that you can go into any direction and then if you want to branch out there, you can, because in MBA you learn small things about each different segments of a business, and then you can build up on that. Very well put. But moving on from there, how did you decide on choosing the university which you applied for? Or was Rotterdam the only place you wanted to move, or you had selected other colleges around the globe as well?
Yeah, I did thinking of going to English speaking countries, let's say
Okay.
US,
Okay.
Australia,
Okay.
UK,
Okay.
Singapore.
Yeah.
But I specifically then I decided after exploring that yeah, it would be better for me to blend in into an environment where I need to learn something new with the people, with the language they speak.
Okay.
So it was quite good enough taking this call because people in Netherlands are they are very welcoming, very
Yeah.
warm, and very generous to
Yeah.
an expat, I would say, and they recognize your work. They
Okay.
recognize what you bring or what you contribute into the daily working,
Yeah.
or even your how to say. I would say it. Yeah, in English speaking countries, you don't face such difficulties in cracking
Okay.
up a job or
Okay.
in even navigating through your higher education. Uh,
Okay.
Here, although my course was in English, but I am interacting with a lot of Dutch people, with a lot of
Okay.
multinational students. So, yeah, it was a very diverse, how to say, complement in the class.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, personally, I also was lucky enough. Some of my old batchmates from my pre-C training, they were doing this course. They did
Oh,
this course
okay.
in 2017,
Okay.
2016, and yeah, they are doing good enough here. And
Okay.
I had very lucky that I had such good friends here supporting me, uh, who helped me in day to day how it goes about here and how the study system works here.
Yeah. Okay. That's really nice. Then moving on from there, can we just describe how the course is designed? Like an entire year in your course, how would it look like? How does the application process look like? And apart from that, how many intakes are there? What and apart and like a general overview of the admission process, the overall curriculum, and how the course is designed. Because I can understand in Dutch universities, it is mostly self-learning is focused a lot rather than you being fed everything like in India, giving you all the notes. What I can understand is you have to do a lot of research and everything. So we can just describe how the 1 year looks like.
Starting from the admission procedure, it is very easy. If you
Okay.
go on their website in Rotterdam University of Applied Science, or just type on Google Master
Yeah.
Shipping and Transport, you will get the first name there. It is just filling out 3 or 4 forms maximum, just meeting their eligibility criteria. You should have a bachelor's, valid bachelor degree, and then yeah, you have valid passport, visa, etc., etc. Very basic things. Once they approve your documentation from their end, you are selected if you are not exceeding the max intake of the class, which is about, I would say, for now, about 40 people for a class. And so, yeah, it is quite easy. The admission
Okay.
procedure is very easy. You are being taken care of from point A till you get
Yep.
here.
Okay.
You are holding a hand of the student service center, and they are helping you
Okay.
out with everything. So
Okay.
you don't have to worry about that. Also, yeah, when you come here, it's a general introduction, and then we start with the first phase. It was with the logistics and supply chain.
Okay.
So the core was of that block of the phase was the logistics and supply chain. But then also
Mm,
you are being given here it is not like you've read this book
yep.
and you've read this is the curriculum for this block, so now you will take a written test on this one like in India.
Yeah.
So here it is, so you've learned about logistics and supply chain mostly on an overall view, not
Okay.
very going into the depth of it. You can
Yeah.
go into the depth of it if how to say, it's on your personal choice. You
Okay.
can dive deep into whatever you want,
Okay.
and then you are being examined upon an assignment which they give you. So they give you like 5 or 6 different scenarios. So I remember my first assignment was supply chain disruption of oil
Okay.
cargo
Yeah.
due to piracy. So this I chose, and I had to really struggle through it because we are not used to the education system here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is a lot of research work that you have
Yeah.
to put on it and to bring it on onto a piece of paper. it is very easy to say that, yeah, you
Yeah.
will do
Yeah.
this, you will do that, you will follow BMP5, BMP4, and this and that. But no, how is exactly the business working with supply
Yeah.
chain? You are not here with, yeah, okay, you have a core knowledge of the vessel, but
Yeah.
you have no clue how the whole operation is working, how
Yeah.
the cargo is moving from A to B. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way. Yeah, your knowledge will help, but
Yeah.
if it would be better if you keep that knowledge on at side of your table, because
Yeah.
it is not all about shipping and how shipping works, it is about how the business works. So yeah, and then you get in the second block, it was about shipping companies,
Yeah.
how the companies are working, what are their strategies. You are given also some assignments and some, let's say, projects
Yeah.
with external stakeholders. So I had a
Mhm.
project with which we were doing uh, feasibility of battery electric trucks,
Okay.
using battery electric trucks to minimize emission in the logistics in the road supply chain. Yeah. And then the third part was strategy and management, which was very intense, I would say. It
Yeah.
was doing actually the strategy and management being used by the big business players in the market and how they're working. And yeah, we have a project case with bunker frauds in all over the world, how to minimize the bunker frauds. We were
Okay.
doing with external stakeholders. We had a business case of with APMT monomers terminals,
Yes.
that they want to expand in Africa, let's say. So what would be the best geographical location? What is the advantage of the country's revenue? What is the, yeah, it is all, you can say it's all practical based and research based.
Yeah.
So you get to learn a lot more
Yeah.
once you start working with different people with their different mindset, and you're
Yeah.
working in teams. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was a brilliant experience for me.
Okay. So, but then at the end of the day, your course, are you supposed to submit a thesis or
Yeah,
a project?
so the last block is thesis, which is, I would say, why didn't I do this before? Because if I were doing my achievements, I would have done this, and it was really very nice. I did my thesis on empirical investigation of CO2 reduction strategies on
Okay.
deep sea container vessels from the point of view of ship owner. So yeah, it was quite intense for the vessels, specifically the big liners working from on the route of China to Europe. So, what strategies, what alternate fuels would I bring in to have a potential or a positive outcome for a ship owner to cope up with these upcoming resolutions, regulations, with these fuel regulations, CII,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was quite intense, but it was quite good. It was quite good.
Okay. So, for anyone who does not know what a thesis or a master project is, can you just tell them what you have to do during this thesis? Yeah.
Yeah, you are on your own here. If you put it in a nutshell, you are on your own here. I know with me, if you say, yeah, you were a chief mate, you know this so much, you have so much intense knowledge. The how a research works, how academic research works, it's very different. And you get to learn this from the day one of your session, when you have a first session here in your class, that how it should be put in, how the language should be, how the
Yeah.
academic research, what is the layout of a research, what is the layout of your findings, what is the layout of, you can do it with interviews with many people from industry. So I was fortunate enough, I got like 8 to 10 interviews with the industry professionals,
Okay.
putting their point of view on the alternate fuel, using of alternate fuels on board these vessels for my thesis,
Okay.
which you can also use it as a weightage of appreciation, that yeah, this is feasible, or how the market looks like, will it
Yeah.
be possible in near future. Yeah, it is purely academic research, and yeah, you can only learn it when you're doing it, like on the
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. That's really nice. So, during this 1 year course, are you also supposed to do an internship, or it is not a mandatory thing? Like,
yeah, so for Netherlands, I would say you can land up in an internship if you're
okay.
lucky enough. It is quite
Okay.
tough to crack into an internship
Okay.
here.
Okay.
I was also not lucky enough to crack up in an internship here, but you are allowed to work as a foreign student, as an expat foreign student. I would say you are allowed to work here 16 hours per week
Okay.
on a part-time basis, which you can
Okay.
work. And yeah, it is very helpful. It keeps you engaged. It keeps you motivated. You can also make some ends meet with that, because our course was having, it was about 3 to 4 days in a week, going to
Okay.
a class, going to a lecture, I would say, for 4 hours or 6 hours max.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of time spare with you. You can do networking. There are
Yeah.
numerous amount of events where you can do networking here. You just have to put yourself out, and even I met here with so many dynamic professionals on some of these events. Yeah, so it is very good. It is very good actually.
Okay. And then moving on from there, then the biggest challenge that always comes is finding a job. And commercial shipping is something which most of the seafarers who are sailing on board, it's very lucrative to them. They feel that, this is what an ideal job would look like. I will send messages to the ship staff on board and they'll have to follow my orders, or this is where the actual money is being made, because this is the misconception which most of the people generally have on board. So while deciding to get a job, were you very, aligned in your thoughts that I want to go into commercial shipping, or was this something which just opened up and you get got into it?
For me, I would say I was quite fortunate enough.
Okay.
I started applying. I started studying here in 2023 of September.
Okay.
I finished my masters in 2024 August,
Okay.
but I started applying in 2024 after the new year. I started
Okay.
applying for jobs, but I was lucky enough. I was getting to come in for an interview, but I just applied at Wecklines, and yeah, the job profile was so, how to say, attractive, that yeah, this is the thing that I wanted to do all my life after I got a thought to go on shore job. So yeah, it was such attractive job role that yeah, I will go for it. They invited me for an interview, and I would say I was at the right place at the right time. I
Okay.
got selected. I didn't face so much of challenge in cracking up your first job in, let's say, Netherlands, but yeah, it was good enough. I was fortunate enough, and
Okay.
then I started working with Wecklines in July. Yeah, I was doing my thesis and I started working, but I was working as you are allowed only for 16
Okay.
hours a week. So I was
Okay.
doing it as a, let's say, part-time basis, which also for 2 months, July and August, and then in September I started full-time. But I was fortunate enough learning on those 2 months how is the actual business looks like and how we are working here on the shore side of the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's really nice. So let's just walk through what does a commercial vessel operator does. What does a day in a vessel operator's life look like for all the seafarers who aspire to be a vessel operator someday?
Yeah. Okay. So let's put it in a broader sense. Yes, your day to day looks like you are in constant touch with your internal teams, internal stakeholders, and also with the external stakeholders, because a vessel operator is the person who is actually executing what the team internally of different departments have agreed upon.
Okay.
So you are executing everything and communicating, and you are the point of contact with the vessel, with the terminals, with the agents all around where our business is being served. Also, you are the point of contact with the other departments that regarding to your vessel, what we need to achieve, what the business needs to achieve, what we, because this is a liner service business, it's a feeder business, so you have very short amount of time to act upon, because the sailings are not like deep sea vessel sailings. You are not on a voyage of 30 days or 40
Yeah.
days. You are every day is you can change a plan for a vessel for like 3 or 4 times, and maybe in the evening, let's say 7 p.m., you decide to take a call. Yeah, because you have a port congestion, you have a crane breakdown at a port, so you cannot work optimally, and with the amount of cargo flow you have, you will lose some time, so you have to divert to another port, nearby port, or change the rotation of the vessel entirely. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is a, you have to keep in mind the operational safety of the vessel,
Yeah.
operational safety of the leg of the voyage,
Yeah.
with the commercial aspect keeping in mind what
Okay.
would be the best possible solution if, let's say, you go from port A to port B, and if the
Mhm.
port B is closed, they have a national strike, they have a national holiday, but you are still burning the fuel to go to that port. So what would be the best possible solution?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite dynamic. I would say it is very dynamic, it is very challenging. You need to be ready for everything on a call.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is quite
Yeah.
fun to do it every day, because yeah, with me as holding some knowledge on how the vessel is working, I can apply it to it, and I don't have any problem in, so to say, uh, how to say, process the information which I'm getting to
Okay.
make a call. So it is quite easy in a sense for me. People can also learn this quite easily with their own pace, of course. So it is quite a good job, dynamic and challenging. You are looking into the cargo flows of the max intake of the vessel with the operational safety, with keeping in mind that you are complying always with the IMO regulations for the vessel stability and the IMDG cargoes. Then you are procuring bunkers. You have to procure bunkers in relation to your compliance with the CII, EU fuel maritime regulations, and all these regulations. Cost effective bunkers, I would say. Then you are following up with the terminals, with the SDRs on the vessel, the stevedore damages, and what is the follow up on that. We are constantly following up on those things. Then we have the administrative tasks related to the vessel, be it from filing or approving a port invoice, port disbursement invoice. You have to check all the costs, you have to go through all the costs, because sometimes, of course, with a clerical error, you can land up getting a pay bill of about 20,000 euro for a port call, which was not intended to be. So
Okay.
yeah, you have to be on top of that. Apart from that, I would say, yeah, in core, you are mixing your operational safety with the commercial aspect of the
Okay.
business.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to better understand, is there a difference between a vessel charterer and a vessel operator? Because, or they both are the same, just different terms being used?
I would say, yeah, charterer, because in at Weckline, so we are the ship owners.
Yeah.
So you are the owner.
Yeah.
So, but what we are also doing is we are also operating our vessels.
Yes.
Wecklines is affiliated to MSC. So the technical and the crewing management is being done by MSC from Cyprus. Wecklines is operating the vessels for their commercial
Okay.
purpose. So we are operators, we are the owners, but we are operating the vessels from the commercial point of view. Of
Okay.
course, keeping in mind and keeping in close contact, daily meetings with the technical
Mm.
team for operation of the vessel and the crewing management. But yeah, it is also not, if you see as a charterer, let's say on a bulk carrier or on a tanker, a ship owner is not operating the vessel.
Correct.
A ship owner is not operating the vessel. They are maybe chartering it to, let's say, X company, Y
Yeah.
company, and the Y company is also subchartering it to another company. But the owner has got nothing to do with the, how to say, the commercial operation of the vessel. They
Yeah.
are just looking at the overview of their commercial output, revenue from the voyage, from the leg
Okay.
of that voyage. But on a container business, we are also chartering vessels to increase our tonnage in the fleet when one or two vessels are in dry dock for their annual maintenance, for their harmonized surveys, and etc. We are always chartering vessels. We have now two vessels chartered on long term basis. We are intending to keep more to upkeep with the normal business tonnage of the company, and also growing, which is also growing, of course. We are also intending to do slot charters on container vessels. We also do, let's say, slot chartering on a deep sea vessel, going from here to cater our cargo to the customers in India, Pakistan, in Kenya. So yeah, we are also doing this for a vessel operator. Day to day is what I just told you. Is we are just a key point between the commercial department with the customer service department, and then with the vessel, with the
Okay.
agents, with the terminals.
Okay. Okay. So how much does it benefit to, be a mariner when you want to become vessel operator? Also, is it really necessary for someone to do a master's to get into vessel operator roles? Let's say not abroad, but let's say even if you want to get in these roles in India. So can someone get into these roles without doing a master's degree, or it would be beneficial, or it is a prerequisite to have such kind of a degree, or your maritime experience is good enough to do?
I would say your maritime experience is okay. I would not say it is at par.
Okay.
because as I also faced it with my personal journey, that people say that if you're not a master you will not get a
Yeah.
sure job. So people on board are living in, I would say, sort of a bubble, that
Okay.
what they are doing is affecting the business.
Okay.
So it is not that case. You need to have a technical or a background knowledge of why is the vessel going on eco speed. Let's say
Okay.
why the operator is telling you to go on eco speed is because there could be 10 factors behind it.
Okay.
So to understand the business, if you want to land up for an operator or for a chartering job in India, I would say, yeah, your maritime experience is quite okay, because you have the core knowledge of how a vessel is working. But if you top it up, upskill it up with, let's say, ICS,
Yeah.
Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers. If you, yeah, it is a distance learning program. You can just enroll into that program, have the core operations knowledge, gain that knowledge, and take a certification of a charter course. Then, yeah, you are good to go, I believe, if you are trying to aim for a job in
Yeah.
India. But
Okay.
firstly, landing up a job ashore is they need you to have sailing experience,
Yeah.
and then they need you to have a shore experience. So from where will you gather a shore
Yeah.
experience if you don't have a shore experience?
Yeah.
It is always with the when we were facing like cadetship or third mate, that you should have a third mate experience. How will a cadet who has just cleared his third mate exam will have a third mate experience?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is something in that sort. But if in my case, if I say, if I am not a master, if every company wants a sailing experience as a master plus a shore experience,
Yeah.
but if I am a chief mate and I have quite a good amount of shore experience,
Yeah.
hopefully I will gain a lot of experience at shore job, then my resume has more weightage than a sailing master with no experience at sea.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes good sense. But then, for someone who is currently, let's say, a third officer, a second officer, even a chief mate, or even a master, they are looking to transition. Each one's journey would be a little different. For a third mate, they might have a bigger career horizon in front of them. So be the second mate, so be the chief mate who is just in his early 30s. And for a master mariner, everyone, the career trajectory looks different. And what would be your recommendations to anyone? So first of all, should they be, if they start feeling that, shipping is not for me, should they wait out, which from your example is very clear that no, you should not wait to get a command. But is what would you recommend to someone who is at a third mate, second mate, or a master level? And then what could be the better avenues apart from just ship chartering and brokering, all they can get into?
Okay, if you are on board a vessel, irrespective of your rank, you are not
Yeah.
feeling that this is what you really want for the next, let's say, a decade, let's say next 10-15 years,
Yeah.
you will not be seeing yourself comfortable in this position. Of course, if a third mate, yeah, you are gradually growing to second mate, chief mate, and then a master, but you
Yeah.
are not putting your heart at work. So
Yeah.
I would say you should start looking out for other opportunities.
Okay.
Don't increase your financial liabilities, I would say.
Mm.
Save your money wisely, invest your money in XYZ, whatever suits you,
Yeah.
and then you can just start on your journey, studying something, upskilling your yeah, there are so many free courses provided from Google also for this project management, AI, or data analytics. There are so many courses out there that I didn't even know when I came here.
Okay.
You can just simply learn a language free of cost from these free courses available all around the globe,
Mm.
be it for a computer language, a Java, or anything, and you can combine it with your own core knowledge of shipping, and you can go into a project management, data analytics. There are so many jobs out there for complying with these IMO and upcoming environmental regulations. You can be in the emission reduction department, you can be in HSQ, your data analytics. Yeah, it is quite a field out there, which is all revolving, of course, around shipping, if you don't want to quit completely shipping. But yeah, it is there are so many businesses, sub businesses running around the core of shipping, that
Yeah.
you can yeah, It is, for me, it was so overwhelming that I don't know this. I don't know even this. What is this? I can also do this. I can
yeah,
also do this for free. I
yeah,
don't have to pay anything. If I'm coming ashore after my contract, let's say 6 months from a rank of third mate, and yeah, in India, you see people, young bloods coming out of third mate and thinking that they are the kings of the world, and yeah, we've all gone through that. But
yeah,
yeah, you can gain your upskill your knowledge. Upskill, I
yeah,
would say, is the better
yeah,
word. If you are not comfortable on board, you should start upskilling your knowledge.
yeah,
There are a lot of things apart from Instagram in this world.
yeah,
So yeah, it is very easy nowadays to upskill your knowledge for free
yeah,
if you want to. If you
correct.
want to get spoon feeded, it is, I think it is not a best idea,
Yeah,
because if you want to get spoon feeded, you will be paying a lot of money for that with the very, let's say, limited amount of gain of knowledge. If you are upskilling yourself on your own, you will definitely gain
yeah,
quite a big amount of knowledge to upskill in a certain direction, and then you can combine it with some language course, learn some computer language, which is very easy. I would say I am also learning a language besides me working as a vessel operator, so it is manageable, I would say, and it keeps you well informed about the changes happening around you,
yeah,
which you don't see it from a normal point of view.
yeah,
If you are a chief mate or a master and you want to transition ashore, I would say, yeah, it's point that you have come on board that you cannot be more than a master on a vessel.
yeah,
So it is time for you to learn, unlearn, and relearn, I would say.
yeah,
Then only you can progress. But in the normal trend in India, if you become a third mate or a second mate, you start purchasing some expensive things, be
yeah,
it your car or a expensive bike, or you start investing in a house. You're increasing your financial liability, I would say, and narrowing your scope of diversification to transition to a shore job, and then you keep on in that vicious circle of sailing,
yeah,
coming back ashore for 2 3 months, and then going back again for 5 6 months. It is, everyone has their own point of view. They can take a personal call on what they want
yeah,
to do. But yeah, this is, I would say,
yeah,
from my
yeah.
point of view.
Yeah, yeah, very well put. Because the biggest challenge which I see is that a lot of people are not happy with on board, especially even the junior officers. They are not happy with, like, this is not what we had imagined. And then we can see that they have an expensive car, they have invested in a property, and they are paying 70, 80,000 rupees of EMI every month, which is not sustainable for long enough. And even if they want to transition right away with a job opportunity, for them living in a city like Mumbai with the EMI of 70, 80,000, transitioning ashore at a second mate's level would be very difficult, because they have put up so much financial burden on themselves that now they have to spend so many years in just staying on board to get their bills done. That's very well put. And even on upskilling, I think it is very important that you keep on upskilling and learning on when you are on board, because there's a lot of free time as well, which you will have, which you can spend either watching movie, or you can always do small courses. Nobody's telling you not to watch movies or anything on board, but you can spend few hours a week to upskill yourself in a domain which can be later utilized by you in a better way. And that's really well said. But I
Yeah,
can,
but
yeah,
nowadays people on board are also not watching movies. Maybe, let's say, they are
yeah,
mostly with the I don't know what is the name of that.
Starlink.
Starlink, yeah.
Yeah,
Now with the Starlink, with such good connection on board, you are a influencer now on Instagram. Yeah, you don't
yeah,
know how to plot a position, but yeah, of course, you can show the world how the bridge look like, and yeah, how officer is working and this and that. Yeah, I was chief mate. I never even got to wear my uniform. So
yeah,
yeah, where are we, guys? I mean, come
yeah,
on, you have to step out of your bubble for sure.
yeah.
If
True,
you want
true.
to upskill,
Yeah,
or if you're not happy
yeah,
on board, I
yeah,
think, yeah, it's better to upscale
yeah,
yourself. You
yeah,
learn something, it is very good. You are in the course shipping business, very good. You are
yeah,
operating a vessel, very good, with high responsibilities, perfect. You have learned that. You are doing that business every day for
yeah,
like 4 5 6 months at a stretch,
yeah,
putting your body with so much of fatigue with that stress. Yeah, it is better to keep that knowledge somewhere in the pocket and start
Yeah.
learning something new, I would
Yeah.
say.
Also, following up on this, I have a very, one question which always comes to my mind is shore job really for everyone? Because I'm sure that not everyone would be suited for a shore job. What kind, like in your experience and from your batchmates or seniors who you might have seen or got to know about, what kind of person should not think of moving ashore?
Yeah, person who have, I would say, the same answer, like if you're living in a bubble, so
Yeah.
better be in a bubble. But if you're not comfortable in that bubble, you can break out. You can break out from that bubble only if you break out your, let's say, professional competence or the rank you have achieved. You can,
Yeah.
if you are willing to put it aside, and if you are willing to, let's say, yeah, it is purely on based on how much you can bend upon learning
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you are not okay with it, that yes, I was a chief mate or yes, I was a captain, so I will transition to shore job as a COO or a CEO of a company, unless you start your own company and say I am captain XYZ and I am C. Yes, very good, but it is your founded company, it is your idea, it is your hard work, it is what you have gained it with your own putting everything out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you are a CEO, of course. But if you think you are a chief mate or a captain or a second engineer or a chief engineer, that you will be given a job at a very higher position at Ashore. So it is not the case for sure. Yeah, you can gradually upscale yourself. You
Yeah.
can gradually learn in the business. You can gradually grow into the business, because here, yeah, to become on a very, how to say, in a board position or a CXO position, you have quite a lot of time with you to learn everything about your business and keep growing on that part, on that side. But if you are let's say chief mate or a master, then you are stagnant on that rank for, if you want to continue it for the rest of your life, it comes with a health cost. Uh, what if you are not physically fit to serve on board the vessel? Then what is the plan B? I don't know about that, but yeah, you should have a plan B, and you can, if you are willing to add your knowledge, add your core shipping knowledge to something learning new, you will be doing much better. You will be doing much better.
Yeah.
And if you want to start comparing the money you make on board and comparing the money you make ashore, if you keep stuck in those comparisons, and if you keep getting stuck in, no, but I am earning tax free and I will be paying taxes in, let's say, only if you're working in India or anywhere else in the world. But yeah, so be it. So you will be stuck there forever in that zone, and
Yeah.
you won't be able to transition, and you will be struggling every day on board that I don't like this job, but
Yeah.
I want to move ashore, but I will not be paid enough. It is not that case. You are not paid enough every day. You are increasing every day with your knowledge, with your competence in the
Yeah.
business, and
Yeah.
you can do much more
Yeah.
for sure. What you are earning on board here.
Yeah, yeah, that's very, very true. Because what I feel is if you are happy with sailing on board, good for you. Stay on board because people require and values people who are experienced mariners, and they will always need someone to run the ship. So it is not that if someone is not like, if you are not happy on board and you have to definitely come ashore, that is one thing. And if you are not happy, then start looking into transitioning yourself and breaking the mindset of the money and your rank. These two things I think are very important because these will change gradually when you come ashore. Nobody is going to give you everything on a plate just because you had certain rank on board. And
Yeah,
then yeah, and moving from there, I'm sure that many of young seafarers or even experienced mariners would be contacting you regarding transitioning ashore, and there would be some pattern of questions which you would be feeling this is not the right mindset when you are thinking of moving ashore. Can you just highlight some of those questions which you get on a frequent basis?
yeah. Okay, so the regular questions with the people, with the, I would say, the people who are still sailing, who want
Yeah.
to transition ashore, who are
Yeah.
coming in to you via LinkedIn with some
Yeah.
questions that, okay, you did this, how much salary do you make, and how much, what is the fees of your course, let's put it that way. How much is how is the promotion criteria ashore, How is yeah, it is very weird that if you can order your food online
Yeah,
nowadays, yeah, you can also type these things on Google and
yeah,
get your answers from, yeah.
yeah,
You have to maintain a certain amount of respect for
yeah,
for every individual, I would say. You have to stop the mentality or everything of being spoon feeded. Yeah, you need to search out for yourself to make you more confident, I would say. If you are
yeah,
being spoon fed as a junior officer on board,
yeah,
and if you are a junior officer that is finding his own way out and answering, taking out answers to the questions, I think you will have that difference in confidence in your personality. It
correct.
will show up on
Yeah,
some day or the other
yeah,
to your seniors on board the vessel. So it is the same case in life. You can also type these things out on Google. You will get
yeah,
good feedback from them. And if you have really like legitimate questions,
yeah,
you can ask those questions, because those questions are out of experience which
yeah,
a person has faced. What you also want to do,
yeah,
like how's
correct.
the life in Rotterdam, how is the
Yeah,
housing market, how is the, what is the average amount of rent that you paid when you were a student, some things like that, that will make you taking a more informed decision about
yeah,
stepping ashore. What is the whole financial situation, what should I expect out of the unexpected during such events. So some things like that, of course. But if you are asking about your salary, if you're asking
yeah,
about were you happy sailing, are you thinking about going back to sailing, yeah, I would say no. But yeah, you
yeah.
should stop the mentality of getting spoon feeded.
Uh,
Yeah,
you know,
people forget that if you are a seafarer, if I'm a seafarer, I
yeah,
want to transition ashore.
yeah,
I am in my own bubble. I am
yeah,
in my
yeah,
own rank.
yeah,
I am in my
yeah,
own authority. When I signed off, I am a king.
yeah,
So I think that other people who are working on shore are yeah, they are just working on shore. How
yeah,
do they know? What do they know how the vessel works? I
yeah,
worked so hard on board
yeah,
for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and it is my blood earned money, and I will. So everybody is at my service. But you
yeah,
have to. If I'm calling you as a seafarer, I
yeah,
need to understand the gravity of the situation, that the person is also
yeah,
giving his time.
yeah, correct.
He is investing his time to help you out. Yeah, to help you out just out of a gesture or
Yeah,
just out of humanity, let's say. You have to respect that, and you have to yeah, if you can't, even if I tell you the name of a college and you can't even find it out yourself,
yeah,
then, and you are busy taking Instagram shots in you as a high, so
yeah.
yeah, so be it. So yeah,
So
you
that
will
is
not
that.
get a response
Yeah,
from me next
yeah,
time. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
So that is one challenge which I see, is that people are not like, they are not hungry enough to even research up for their change. They are just messaging everyone, hi, can I, and if someone is taking interest to tell you something, then also they are in that bubble of not even wanting to listen what the other person is sharing. What
Yeah.
they want is, I only want to listen which
What
I,
I want to listen.
yeah, yes, correct, what I want to listen. If you are saying that, this is not right approach and everything, I will not listen to you. Then I say, it's okay, call your life, you can do whatever you want. And after some years, you'll realize that person who was trying to help you was telling it out of a genuine interest of
Yeah.
helping you. So this has been a big challenge. And even when, what I realize is, most people first question is always, how much money am I going to get?
Yeah.
What I realize is, this is not the right question to ask. Nobody started paying you $4,000 as a second mate without you being a cadet first, where you were earning 400, $500. So
Indeed.
people forget all this, that
Yeah.
nobody is going to give you that much money. Eventually, after a point of time, money will come in, but you have to put in 3 to 5 years of hard work ashore as well, to build your credibility, build your brand, where
Yeah.
people will start paying you that much amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. If you also want to say that, yeah, we are seafarers, we have quality time with our families when we are ashore. Okay, very good. But what happens when you are at sea and there is
Yeah,
some emergency happening at
yeah,
your house? You
yeah,
cannot reach there. Yeah, the vessel is not operating based on cruise interest.
yes,
The vessel is running day to day because of it is an asset, a revenue making asset for the owner, and he's
yeah,
running that vessel on that interest.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah, of course you can put in all the laws of STF, ITF, and but yeah, this is not an emergency for the vessel if you have an emergency at home.
Yeah.
So if you want to make a financial, let's put it, you are earning as a chief mate, but nowadays also chief mates are doing at least 5 or 6 months on board at a stretch.
Yeah.
Before it was 3 to 4 months, which is in that position of on board. It is quite stressful. It
Yes.
is quite consuming, and yeah, if you are doing 6 or 8 months serving on board, and if you are comparing it with what a vessel operator is making in Rotterdam, then yeah, you are wrong. Yeah, the person can make even more than a chief mate if you gather more experience in that
Yeah.
position ashore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So also you are working as normal on weekdays. Weekends you are free. If you want to calculate, no, I have 4 months off in a year. So yeah, if you want to break it down, I also can get 1 month of leave, paid leave. And if you calculate the weekends and the public holidays, then I also gain 3 months of holidays in that. So I am also doing 4 months off and 8 months on, but I
Yeah.
am ashore.
Yeah.
And if you want to also dive into spoon feeding you the amount of financial calculation, if you want to compare it, then okay, then you can just Google some things, some figures, and you will get the answers.
Yeah. It
So,
is also.
but you will for sure grow more ashore. You will grow more in experiences on board, of course,
Yes.
because every day is something you
Yeah.
learn new. But it is only related to that
Yeah.
sector.
Yes.
You are not growing in the overall business knowledge of the business that you are serving into.
Yeah.
So you will grow. There is definitely a lot of growth opportunity ashore.
Yeah. So that's true, and also it's each to own. What you want from life is not necessarily what I would want, and not everyone else. And you have to choose what you want when you're looking to transition or you want to stay on board. It's totally your call. Whatever you want to do, you are happy. It's your call. Till the time you are happy, we don't. We are not anyone to guide you anywhere.
I'm
It's
not
totally.
concerned even
Yeah.
if you
Yes.
are
Yes.
happy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you are happy.
Yes.
You
Yes.
are happy. If you are
Yes.
sad, I am also not concerned.
Moving from there, are there any tips which you would like to end with for any seafarer who looking to transition ashore?
Final tips, I would say, if I sum it up, if you are not happy on board the vessel, you should upscale yourself, start looking out for options, what you
Yeah.
can do more with your knowledge that you already possess,
Yes.
and upskill in that direction, or maybe add something new into your profile.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't go out for spending out your hard earned money. If
Yeah.
you are looking out to transition to shore job,
Yeah.
save it in a smart way, spend in a smart way, don't increase your financial burden, liabilities.
Yeah.
I would say you have plenty of lifetime to earn or to show off whatever you want. You will
Yeah.
do it, of course. You have to be on a right track. And yeah, if you want to go for a higher education abroad, anywhere in the world, it is highly recommended because it gives you the, how to say, the grassroots level of how that environment is working, because you
Yeah.
have stepped out from your house and from on board the vessel,
Yeah.
and you also should step in and lean in and be a bit malleable and ductile to absorb what the environment is giving you,
Yeah.
and then you can start looking out for opportunities. Don't think that you will become a millionaire overnight. You will gradually grow. Of course, you will grow. You will grow on board. You will grow ashore, but the spectrum, the bandwidth of growth ashore is, of course, higher, because on board you will grow 4 ranks and then it will be stagnant. Ashore, you have quite a big bandwidth to elevate in the different verticals of your profile. You can switch on to other profile, upskill yourself, maybe go in some a different estuary of direction from the core business what you're doing. You can
Yeah.
make more better opportunities there. Yeah, so this is it, I think.
Yeah. Very, very well summed up. And at the end of the day, it's all about what you want, not just to, the fear of missing out that everyone is transitioning ashore. So I should transition ashore, or everyone is giving mates. I should give mates. It's totally personalized to you, your situation, what you want to do in life. And basis that, gain as much as knowledge from all the resources you have. and then make a well informed decision. So that is what I would like to end this with. And really thank you, Gaurav, for doing this, spending your Sunday afternoon on this. Really thankful for doing this.
It's my pleasure,
Yeah,
Sachin.
yeah,
It was personally my first experience
yeah,
at a podcast
yeah.
which you've started. So yeah, it's quite also learning experience from me. I learned quite a lot, and yeah, looking to learn more and
Yes,
gaining more
yes,
knowledge. And I hope it was helpful. It would be helpful for the young people out
yeah.
at sea to make some decision if
Yes.
they will listen to the podcast. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sachin.
Yes.
Thanks.